Much, and we are here building up to the anniversary festival. So devotees arriving, right, only from Ireland at the moment, but from different places. So the place is a hive of devotional activity as we prepare for what is the biggest festival of the year for us here in London. But our morning program goes on the same regardless, and we are hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we are in the Madhya Lila in the 13th chapter of the Madhya Lila, and Mahaprabhu has been dancing in Ratha Yatra. So bringing back so many wonderful memories of just now, it seems like, but it was being in Puri and remembering these wonderful pastimes. So we're on text 203. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Text 203. Nitya Parishrame Nitya Parishrama Prabhuda Deya Ghana Dharma Sugandhi Sitala Vayu Karene Sevana. The Lord was very much fatigued from his hard labor of dancing, and there was perspiration all over his body. He therefore enjoyed the Sugandhi Shitala Vayu, the sweet, cool breeze of the garden. He's gone into a garden, dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. Yata Bhakta Kirtaniya Ashya Arame Prati Vrikshatale Sabe Karena Vishrame. All the devotees who had been performing Sankirtan came there and took rest under each and every tree. Eta Kahila Prabhuda Maha Sankirtana Jagannatera Age Jache Karila Natana. Thus I have described the great performance of congregational chanting by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he danced in front of Lord Jagannath. Rata Grete Prabhu Jache Karila Natana Chaitanyastake Rupa Goshai Karyache Vanan. In his prayer known as the Chaitanyastaka, Srila Rupa Goswami has given a vivid description of the Lord's dancing before the car of Jagannath. And then there is this wonderful verse, Rata Rudhasyarat Adipadavi Nila Chalapate Adhabra Premurmi Spurita Natano Lasa Vivashaha Saha Shamgayabdir Pavitratanun Vaishnava Janai Sa Chaitanya Kimme Puna Apidisho Yasyati Padam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced down the main road in great ecstasy before Lord Jagannath, the master of Nilachala, who was sitting on his car. Overwhelmed by the transcendental bliss of dancing and surrounded by Vaishnavas who sang the holy names, he manifested waves of ecstatic love of God. Mahaprabhu, when will Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again be visible to my vision? The prayer of Rupa Goswami. Iya je shune say Sri Chaitanya Paya Sudhida Vishvasa Saha Prema Bhakti Haya. Anyone who hears this description of the car festival will attain Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will also attain the elevated state by which he will have firm conviction in devotional service and love of Godhead. So many blessings coming from Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Oh, we should have finished yesterday, really. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kai Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So we very quickly came to the end of the We obviously didn't know yesterday how close we were. And we're also reading from the wonderful Shigu and His Grace. So we'll carry on into the 14th chapter, which Srila Prabhupada named the performance of the Vrindavan pastime. And his original Sanskrit composition, Gaura Pasyan Atma Vrindai Shilakshmi Vijayotsavam Shutva Gopi Rasola Sang Rishta Premna Nanata Saha. Accompanied by his personal devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the festival known as Lakshmi Vijayotsava. There he discussed the super excellent love of the gopis. Just by hearing about them, he became very pleased and danced in great ecstatic love for the Lord. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chanja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya 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 Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Danya. So it's all glories to Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gaura Chanja, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, who is so exalted, Danya. Jaya Jaya Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktagan, Jaya Shrotagana Jara Gaura Pranadhan. All glories to all the devotees. And we just heard Srila Govinda Maharaj, what was his exact saying about the devotees and how glorious the devotees are, good and bad? Very happy with the devotees, good and bad. Hare Krishna. Jai Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktagan, Jaya Shrotagana Jara Gaura Pranadan. All glories to all the devotees headed by Shivas Thakur, who we know from our class is head of the devotees section, our Panchatattva class, which is going on at the moment. The last part tonight here. All details online somewhere. All glories to the readers who have taken Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as their life and soul. So we're back to the garden. E mata Prabhu achena premara veshe hena kale prataparuja karila praveshe. So this has been an ongoing pastime for a little while. This relationship, this kind of covered or hidden or relationship with the king appearing to be kind of no, but in fact waiting for the meeting of his devotee Prataparuja. When Mahaprabhu was resting in ecstatic love, Maharaj Prataparuja entered the garden. Sarvabhauma Upadeshe Chari Rajavesha Ekala Vaishnava Vesha Karila Pravesha. So we can understand something. Following Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's Upadesh, instructions, the king had given up his royal dress and he now entered the garden in the dress of a Vaishnava. And then Srila Prabhupada gives a nice purport, which I'm going to read. He says, sometimes members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, especially in Western countries, find it difficult to approach people to distribute books because people are unfamiliar with the traditional saffron robes of the devotees. The devotees have therefore inquired whether they can wear European and American dress before the general public. From the instructions given to King Prataparuja by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we can understand that we may change our dress in any way to facilitate our service. Prabhupada said, when our members change their dress to meet the public or to introduce our books, they are not breaking the devotional principles. The real principle is to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. And if one has to change into regular Western dress for this purpose, there should be no objection. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sabha Bhaktera Agya Nila Jara Hatahai Prabhupada Dhari Pare Sahasa Kariya. Maharaj Prataparuja was so humble that with folded hands He first took permission from all the devotees. Then with great courage, Sahasakariya, with great courage, he fell down and touched the lotus feet of the Lord. Yeah, it takes some courage. I was always way too scared to touch Gurudev's feet. I don't think I ever touched Gurudev's feet. But then I'd see other people just come in and launch themselves.
Mostly the Indians.
Yes, and Gurudev, you know, just tolerated that. But I didn't have that kind of courage to do that. But we'd go there afterwards, and yes, he was not a fan of that anyway. But yes, but Maharaj Prataparuja, with great courage, Anki Mudi, with closed eyes, Anki Mudi, Prabhu Prema Bhumite Shayana, Nripati na Punya Kare Pada Sangvahana. As Mahaprabhu lay on the raised platform with his eyes closed in ecstatic love and emotion, the king very expertly began to massage his legs. Rasa Lila Shloka Pari Karina Stavana Jayati Te Dikam Ajaya Karina Patana. The king began to recite verses about the Rasa Lila from Srimad Bhagavatam. He recited the chapter beginning with the words Jayati Te Dikam. And Srila Prabhupada tells us these verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, chapter 31, constitute what is known as the Gopi Gita. Shunite, Shunite Prabhuda Santosha Apara. Bala Bala Bali Prabhu, Bale Bara Bara. When Mahaprabhu heard these verses, he was pleased beyond limits. And he said again and again, go on reciting, go on. Tavakatam Nitam Shloka Rajaje Parila Uti Prema Vesha Prabhu Alingana Kaila. As soon as the king recited the verse beginning with Tavakatam Nitam, the Lord arose in ecstatic love and embraced him. Tumi mora dila bahu amulya ratana. Mora kichu dite nai dilo alingan. After hearing the verse recited by the king, Mahaprabhu said, you have given me invaluable gems, but I have nothing to give you in return. Therefore, I'm simply embracing you. Etabali say shloka pare bara bara. Dui janara ange kampa necha jaladara. Jaladara, flowing tears. After saying this, Mahaprabhu began to recite the same verse again and again. Both the king and Mahaprabhu were trembling and tears were flowing from their eyes. Tavakatamritam tapta jivanam kavive editam kalpa sabam shravanam mangalam shimadatam bhuvigrinantiye bhurida jana. My Lord, the nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those who are always aggrieved in this material world. These narrations are transmitted by exalted personalities, and they eradicate all sinful reactions. Whoever hears these narrations attains all good fortune. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Those who spread the message of Godhead are certainly the most munificent welfare workers. Purida bali karyalingana. Io nai jani ion kaya kona jana. So that word purida, the most munificent, the kindest. After reciting this verse, Mahaprabhu immediately embraced the king and cried, you are the most munificent. You are the most munificent. At this point, Mahaprabhu did not know who the king was. Purva seva deki tare kripa upajila anusandhana vina kripa prasada karila. Mahaprabhu's mercy was aroused because of the king's previous service. Therefore, without even asking who he was, the Lord immediately bestowed his mercy upon him. E deka Chaitanya kripa mahabala. E deka Chaitanya kripa mahabala. Tada anusandhana vina karya safala. How powerful is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without even inquiring about the king, the Lord made everything successful. A big purport there. Prabhu bhale ke tumi karila morahita achambita ashe piyau Krishna lilamrita. Finally, Mahaprabhu said, who are you? You have done so much for me. All of a sudden you have come here and made me drink the nectar of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Rajakai ami tomara dasara anudasa. Brityara brityakara e mora asha. The king replied, my lord, I am the most obedient servant of your servants. It is my ambition that you will accept me as the servant of your servants. Tabe Mahaprabhu tane Aishwarya dekaila. Karahe na kaive nisheda karya. At that time, Mahaprabhu displayed some of his divine opulences to the king, and he forbade him to disclose this to anyone. Nisheda. Raja hena jnana kabu na kail prakasha antare sakala janena bahira udasha. Although within his heart Mahaprabhu knew everything that was happening, externally he did not disclose it, nor did he disclose that he knew he was talking with King Prataparuja. Prataparudrera bhagyadeki bhaktagan rajera prem prashamshe sabe ananditamane. Seeing the Lord's special mercy upon King Prataparuja, the devotees praised the king's good fortune, and their minds became open and blissful. Dandavata Kari Raja Bahira Chalila Jorat Hastakari Sabha Bhaktera Vandila. Vandila offered prayers. Submissively offering prayers to the devotees with folded hands and offering obeisance to Mahaprabhu, the king went outside. So we can leave that wonderful, we'll leave them there to go to Sri Guru and His Grace, a nice place to stop after the king's finally his heart has been flooded and his desire to have darshan of Mahaprabhu has been fulfilled, and everyone happy. Mahaprabhu super happy, the king super happy, all the devotees super happy, and now he's leaving, and the pastimes will continue. So Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, and Tuti Devotee Mahaprabhu ki Jai. And then we can go to Sri Guru and His Grace, where we are in the chapter called God Consciousness versus Society Consciousness. And we heard yesterday this, I don't know, where is it? Oh, it's from Bhagavatam, that shlok, Guru na sasyat svajano na sasyat pitana sasyat janani na sasyat daivam na tasyan napatischa sasyan mamoche dya samupeta mrityam. Even a spiritual master, relative, parent, husband, or demigod who cannot save us from repeated birth and death should be abandoned at once. What to speak of ordinary things, even the guru may have to be abandoned. One may even have to give up one's own spiritual guide, as in the case of Bali Maharaj, or one's relatives, as in the case of Vibhishan. In the case of Prahlad, his father had to be given up. In the case of Bharat Maharaj, it was his mother. In the case of Katvanga Maharaj, he left the demigods. And in the case of the Yagya Patnis, the wives of the Brahmanas, they left their husbands in the endeavor to reach the absolute personality. We need society only to help us. If our affinity to the society breaks us down, then that should be given up, and we must march on. This is the absolute consideration and the relative consideration. When they come into clash, the relative must be given up, and the absolute should be accepted. If my inner voice, my spiritual conscience, decides that this sort of company cannot really help me, then I will be under painful necessity to give them up and to run towards my destination wherever my spiritual conscience guides me. Any other course will be hypocrisy, and it will check my real progress. If we are sincere in our attempt, then no one in the world can check us or deceive us. We can only deceive ourselves. Nahi kalyana krit kaschid durgatim tatagachati. We must be true to our own selves and true to the Supreme Lord. We must be sincere. It's the end of that little section, which I think we read yesterday. But Guru Maharaj diving deep into reality. If ever there's so many places, but don't be bewildered by all the external stuff. Let's be true. Now, and often we're here, Jai Shri Mahaprabhu, Jai Veera. So the next section is called the disappearance of the Guru. And the student is asking the question, after the disappearance of the spiritual master, how should the disciples continue his mission? And Srila Shridhar replies, you must not neglect your conscience. You may go to fight as a soldier to save your country or your people or your honor. Your environment does not depend on your whim. It may appear extremely perplexing, but you will have to face that. However complex the battlefield may be, as a soldier you will have to fight. Otherwise you have no faith in your own cause. There may be disturbances. Rather, we say there should be. There may even be fighting amongst devotees. But we should not leave the preaching of Mahaprabhu despite all differences. Disturbance must come, because our most beloved Guru has withdrawn from amongst us. Such a great curse has been thrown on our heads. Should we like to live peacefully? In its wake, disturbances must come, and we must undergo them. Still, we must remain sincere. We must face the difficulty in a proper way. It has come to train us to go in the right direction. What we received from our spiritual master, we understood only in rough estimation. Now things have come in such a way that we have to scrutinize ourselves in every position. We have to analyze ourselves. Atma Nikshepa. Self-analysis has begun. We are under trial. What we received from our spiritual master, in what way have we received it? Properly or only showingly? The time has come to purify us, to test whether we are real students, real disciples, or his disciple only in face and confession? What is the position of a real disciple? If we live in the society, what is the depth of our creed? In what attitude have we accepted his teachings? How deep-rooted is it within us? The fire has come to test whether we can stand. Is our acceptance real, or is it a sham, an imitation? This fire will prove that. The next section, surrounded by karma. So we must not be afraid of any adverse circumstances. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, a happy Kshatriya hankers for the battle you are facing. Sukhinak Kshatriya pata labante yudam idrisham. Our karma has come to face us, to surround us, and we can't avoid it. These disturbances are a result of our own karma. They came from within us, so we must not quarrel. We must act properly in dealing with that. We have to scrutinize more accurately what we thought we understood. Everyone must ask himself, where am I? What is my real need? And how much am I hankering for the real thing? All these things will be expressed and made public. So this is the real field of sadhana. This is the real field of sadhana or practice. Our practice, our advancement needs all these difficulties. Otherwise, we may not know what is progress, and we will become hypocrites and give the same adulterated thing to others. So to purify ourselves, it is necessary that so many disturbances come. Hare Krishna. And God has no error. He commands the environment. It's not our responsibility. It is not our responsibility. The responsibility of the environment does not rest upon me. Our responsibility is within ourselves alone. The environment is in the hands of the Lord. He's not done any wrong to me. If I am seer, then I will have to adjust myself with the environment and put my faith before him. By our stand in any circumstances in the battle, our patriotism will be put to the test. We will be tested to see whether we are real soldiers or not. Anything may come, but we will have to face that. I must not forget my Lord, my Guru, my Gauranga, my Radha Govinda under any circumstances. Under all unfavorable circumstances, I must stand with my head erect and say, yes, I am a servant of that clan, that sampradaya. Everyone may leave me, but I shall stand alone. With this attitude, we must march on, whatever the circumstances may be. Then the recognition may come in my favor that, yes, under such trying circumstances, he is still there. Our superiors will be pleased with us. We must analyze ourselves. How much are we selfish? To what percent are our unwanted bad habits, anarthas, still present within our hearts? How much are the impurities of karma, jnana, mental desires, and other filthy things mixed with the real faith? That must come out, and that must be eliminated in different ways. If we want real good, no one can hinder us. With this spirit we must move, and then we will be able to understand what is what. Jesus and Judas, even Christ told his followers, one of you will betray me. Judas was amongst the 12. So Jesus said, amongst the 12 of you, there is one who will hand me over to the enemy this very night. Even this may be possible. He said, even Peter, you will deny me 3 times before the cock crows. Oh, no, I can't deny you. But no pride of a devotee does the Lord tolerate. He wants surrender, complete surrender. No, no, Peter said, I am your faithful servant. That kind of ego also must not stand. Peter, who was the leader, was also exposed. So no pride is tolerated by the Lord. Devotees are only tools in the hand of the Lord. One Muslim king advertised for a sycophant, yes man. Previously in the court of the kings, they had a sycophant, and I think they still do. Whatever the king will say, he would give ditto to that. He would agree with that. He advertised that he wanted a flatterer. Flatterer. And many came and applied for the job. He began interviewing them. Do you think you'll be able to do your duty properly? Yes, I'll be able to do it. I don't think you'll be able to do it properly. No, sir, I will be able to do it. They were all dismissed, but one. When the king told him, I think you will not be able to discharge the duty of a flatterer. The remaining one said, yeah, I also think like that. No, you'll be able to. You're the fittest. Yeah, I am the fittest. No, I don't think so. No, yeah, I don't think so either. The king said, this is the man for the job. Those that continuously claimed they were fit were all dispersed and rejected. So our soul must have such flexibility in the service of the Lord. We must have no ego whatsoever. Of course, that is in the external sense. For we have our permanent ego within when the soul enters into that higher domain. The position of that is a separate thing. But this material ego, that must be dissolved cent per cent. When put into the fire, it will be burned into ashes. And we must be one-pointed in our aim toward the truth. Dronacharya was the weapon master, the Ashtra Guru of the Pandavas. And one day, while testing the progress of his disciples, he put an artificial bird in the top of a tree. One by one, he asked the brothers to come forward and take aim. Yudhisthira came forward. Dronacharya told him, prepare yourself to hit that bird. Are you ready? Yes. What do you see? I see the bird. Anything else? Yes, I see all of you. Go away. Then another one of the brothers approached. Dronacharya told him, hit the eye of the bird. That must be marked by your arrow. Take your aim. What do you see? The bird. Anything else? Yes, the tree also. Okay, go away. Then Arjuna was taken in. Dronacharya told him, prepare yourself. Yes, my lord, I have done so. Do you see the bird? Yes, I see. The tree? No. The whole of the bird? No. What do you see? Only the head. The whole of the head? No. What do you see? Only the eye. You can see nothing else? I can see nothing else. Okay, my boy, shoot the arrow. We should have that sort of aim in our life, do or die. Whatever circumstances may come to frighten me, I won't be frightened. If my own men seem to be my enemy, that does not matter. My own is only he. And he cannot tolerate that anyone else will be a partner of him. He is absolute. He is the absolute owner of me. He does not tolerate any partnership there. In this way, I must go where my spiritual conscience takes me. By God's will, friends may be converted into foes. Foes may be converted into friends. And I must stick to my ideal. If I am of a progressive nature, then there must be elimination and there must be new beginnings. It can't be avoided in the course of our realization. One more paragraph. When we are in school, all do not pass. Some fail. And then we have to meet new classmates. Again, we advance. And again, we have new classmates, and old classmates will fall behind. It's quite natural. That does not mean that we are envious of them. We are sympathetic. We shall try our best to help them. But still it may happen. We cannot help it. But this is the nature of spiritual life. So the absolute and relative principles are always clashing. They will seem to fight with one another. But the absolute should be accepted and the relative should be sacrificed. So we'll leave it there. Although, anyway, it's always hard to stop reading Guru Maharaj, but we have to leave there, and we've got a busy day before. Oh, it's not tomorrow. Saturday is the main day of the festival, but we're already having a festival going on. So, Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshita Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. This from this book, this wonderful book, Sri Guru and His Grace. And Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj and Chuti devotee. Jai Bola Hari. And who will sing?
Anita. Someone else sings it.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Shishi Guru Gauranga Sundaradha Giridhari Ju Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Rakshita Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Guru Vaga Ki Jai, Saraswati Didi's wonderful conch blowing Ki Jai, Chuti devotee Ki Jai, Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.